Well, thanks everyone for being here today in your lunchtime. My name's Nick. I'm the recruitment team manager at Teach for Australia. I went through the Teach for Australia program myself in 2014. And what I'll do is give you a very brief overview of the program, and then we'll get into the questions. And we have a really great panel today to answer any questions about what it's like to be in the program or any questions broadly. I'll go back. Teach for Australia is an innovative not-for-profit that exists to address educational inequity in Australia. I'm sure it won't come as a surprise to a lot of you that where you're born, your postcode can often be a determinant of your educational outcomes. There is a disconnect in Australia, and that's particularly acute in regional and remote areas. And at the moment, the question we've been getting a lot is how is COVID-19 affecting educational outcomes? And to be honest, it's affecting things a lot. The 730 report did a story on this the other night, and a lot of learning now is moving online, which works out great for some people. But other people in remote or rural or regional areas sometimes don't have internet connection. Maybe they don't have the technology. So we're seeing a widening of that education gap. And that's what Teach for Australia exists to try to solve. So our vision at Teach for Australia is of an Australia where all children, regardless of background, attain an excellent education. So what's that mean? We are basically an employment-based pathway into teaching. So what you do is study a Masters of Secondary Education. At the same time, you are teaching in a school in one of our partner schools. Now these, our partner schools are schools with a genuine need for a highly qualified person to teach their students. So for example, one of our partner schools might have a need for a physics teacher. They're unable to, for whatever reason, to get a physics teacher. We can put one of our really high quality associates in that school and they're studying their Masters at the same time. So in terms of the program structure, the program starts in November with our initial intensive. That's a residential training period for 6 weeks that leads up until Christmas, where you'll complete roughly 25% of your master's degree. That's all about getting you ready for day one in the classroom in February 2021. Throughout the 2 years, like I said, you're studying for your Masters of Secondary Education. And you're also getting one-on-one coaching and mentoring by someone from Teach for Australia, known as a teaching and leadership advisor. You get an academic mentor from the university, and you also get an in-school mentor at your school, someone who's going to basically be the school contact to mentor you and induct you into the culture of the school. The tertiary aspect goes over the 2 years, and at the end of the 2 years you come out of it with your master's degree in teaching, and you'll also be a fully registered teacher. So what are we aiming to do once we get into our schools? We call them the 4 A's. So what we want to do is seek to ensure that students achieve significant academic growth. We want them to experience increased access to opportunities, develop positive attitudes and beliefs about themselves and their learning, and develop aspirations, interests, and excitement that propel them forward. In terms of our selection process, the process starts with an online application, which is an opportunity for you to demonstrate your past experience and why you want to join this program. Then we have an interview, which is conducted via Zoom for about 45 minutes. And if you're successful in that, you'll be invited to a selection day, which has a sample of activities, which owing to the coronavirus crisis, we're doing fully virtually at the moment now as well. So our whole program, our whole recruitment process is done virtually this year.